Can't tell me nothing. That's why when they be talking tough, I said, man, just say that. I done seen all that. Nigga said he wanna just go home.
Oh, shit.
His blanket. He's like, what?
What are you there for security?
You're never gonna be in this position.
I just want to go home and
I just want to be under my blanket. Oh, we gotta get out of here. God, you get me out of here. I'm never fooling with these things.
These clowns out here was gonna go out there and make videos.
I just want to go home. I just want to be home.
Mace, same name.
Get a security crime behind the car.
People look at me as being bad boy security.
Yeah, this blanket. He's like, what?
Oh, Gene Deal was crying for the blanket. Gene Deal was this, that, and the Gene Deal was this, that, and the third.
What are you there for security?
What you think I'm gonna be doing when you doing all that to Gene Deal? I bet you really don't want to know.
Things just got real in hip-hop, and fans can't stop talking. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard from the Wild Bad Boy Records days, just dropped a message that set the internet on fire. But this time, his words were aimed directly at Maze and Cam'ron, the Harlem legend behind the viral show It Is What It Is. Only this post wasn't some random online rant. It felt like a warning, the kind you hear before something serious pops off. People are saying they've never seen Gene this heated before. It all started after a clip from It Is What It Is began trending, showing Maze and Cam clowning the old-school rap scene. They name-dropped Diddy, Gene Deal, and the whole Bad Boy era like it was comedy hour, joking about shady deals, street rumors, and folks still too scared to even mention Diddy's name. The audience laughed, but for those who actually lived that era, it hit different. And for Gene Deal, it struck a nerve. See, Gene ain't just some random guy talking for clicks.
Trying to picture your facial reaction to watch this woman go home.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
If my security holding me down in Cali, is somebody, the #1 rapper in the world, get killed, you're telling you, I just need to want to go home. And the second top artist in the world, which is Mace, about to be #1. Nigga said, that's what I'm saying. I wonder his face, because I'm like, if y'all let me do that to Big, I don't stand a chance.
This man's been in the trenches. He was there when some of the darkest, most secretive moments in hip-hop history went down. He's spoken openly about the Tupac and Biggie murders, Diddy's hidden world, and the heavy price of fame under the Bad Boy Empire. So when he saw Maze and Cam making jokes about that era, you could tell he took it personal. A few nights later, Gene jumped on a live stream. His face was tight, his eyes locked dead on the camera, and his voice carried that cold, no-nonsense energy. Then he dropped a line that sent chills through the chat. You'll think this a game.
Content creators who went out there and they start running off by their mouth, trying to make airwaves and trying to make a show. Here go a grown-ass man, Mace and Cam'ron, made suggestions to Bad Boy Security. These clowns out here was gonna go out there and make videos. When you do stuff like that, you gotta know right now that people look at me as being Bad Boy Security. You gotta be clear. As soon as that drop, you got 5 or 6 out there. Oh, Gene Deal was crying for the blanket. Gene Deal was this, that, and the Gene Deal was this, that, and the third. You already know, Mace.
Hey, if you gonna say something, be man of motherfucking never to name. When I tell a motherfucking story, Rex, I tell it with the name.
Everybody trying to go viral. Everybody trying to go viral. Everybody trying to go viral.
Gene made it clear he's not the one to play with, especially for folks who think they're untouchable. That statement hit the internet like a bomb. Nobody could tell if Gene was warning Maze and Cam for their safety or straight up threatening them. He said, when you're doing all that stuff to Gene Deal, what do you think Gene Deal's supposed to be doing while you're doing all that? I bet you really don't want to know. Then he added, they can play if they want, but if they know what I know, they better find somebody else to play with. And that wasn't all. Gene reminded everyone he's been through this before, saying, I never had to tell Big them to keep it a buck. I told Big to his face, if you go to that party tonight, one of you're gonna die. His words were cryptic but laced with that raw street energy that made everyone stop scrolling like, wait, what did he just say? Within hours, blogs were flooded with headlines like, Gene Deal sends chilling warning to Maze and Cam, and former Diddy bodyguard issues dark message. Fans packed the comment section, arguing if Gene was just defending the old code of the streets or signaling that something darker was brewing behind the scenes. Either way, one thing was certain. Gene Deal didn't just speak, he shook the room. Stop talking before it's too late. That's a message that froze the entire hip-hop world. The vibe turned cold fast, almost like the ghost of the bad boy era just came back to remind everybody. Some stories were never meant to be joked about. Fans flooded the comments like wildfire. He knows something we don't. This ain't advice, this a warning. It felt heavy, like Gene wasn't just talking for clicks. He was sending a message. And just when folks thought he'd cool off, Gene doubled down that same night.
If you want to say something, Mace, tell us why you didn't go. Mace, why you didn't go to the party? Mace, why you didn't go to the party?
Because I was in a hotel with Brandy.
Why you didn't go? Brandy told you, you told me that Brandy told you, let's go to the party. Why you didn't go to the party?
I didn't go to the party because all y'all seem like snakes. And I'm not going to...
So, Mace, who told you, Mace, didn't I tell you, listen to him, Mace, did I tell, let's keep it 100. When you was riding around,
Let me answer.
Go ahead.
Let me answer the question. You guys was the security. If somebody shot the biggest rapper in the world, why nobody shoot? Why y'all didn't shoot back? Y'all had guns?
Man.
Looked dead into the camera and said, them Harlem boys need to chill before they end up in the same stories they're laughing about. Then he leaned in, personal as hell. Let me ask you something. Maze, when you was riding around Cali with Stevie J, and I pull you to the side and say, what the hell you doing rolling in a drop top with Stevie J and Cali? Did I say that to you? Did I say that to you? Maze? That line sent real chills. He wasn't loud. He wasn't manic. His voice was flat, steady, almost too calm, and that's what made it terrifying. He finished with, if you're gonna say something, be a man about it. When that clip hit socials, chaos exploded. Fans tagging Maze and Cam nonstop. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds. People arguing if Gene were protecting street code or hinting at something darker. Some asked if Maze and Cam were shook. Others demanded they clap back. At first, the Harlem boys tried to play it off. On the next episode of It Is What It Is they laughed it off, Cam quipped, man, Gene acting like we're in a mob movie, while Maze shot back, if we gotta watch our backs for talking, then we already famous. But underneath the jokes, the whole vibe had shifted, and everyone could feel it. The crowd on It Is What It Is might have been laughing, but online, nobody found it funny. Fans could feel the tension rising. Something about this didn't seem like just entertainment anymore. And when Gene saw the playful response, that's when he snapped. He went live again, and this time, he didn't sugarcoat a thing. You Harlem boys always playing, he said, voice tight with frustration.
In a hotel with a young lady.
And when you heard this information, what was your next actions?
My next actions? After what?
When you heard Biggie died, did you stay in your hotel room? Did you leave out? Did you want to go back to New York?
I actually was trapped in a hotel.
Now I want to ask the question. What do you mean trapped?
It was about probably like 70 or so bloods in the hallway. I couldn't even leave my room.
How'd you get out?
One of the guys.
Why would it be 70 bloods in your hallway after Biggie Smalls died?
Actually, after Big got killed, they was probably looking for more bad boy artists. And I couldn't even leave the room till Gene Deal, the officer had to.
You think, cause you on camera can't nothing happen to you? Cameras don't save people. Ask the ones who ain't here no more. The chat went dead silent. Then Gene took it darker. He started reflecting on how, back in the 90s, people used advantage for saying the wrong thing. He hinted that the industry still runs on secrets, and some of those secrets could get people touched. That's when the internet lost it. Everyone realized this wasn't a storyline anymore. This was real talk from a man who's seen too much. Even without dropping names, everyone knew exactly who he meant. Because let's be real, when Gene Deal speaks, people listen. His words carry history, weight, and danger. This is the same man who claims he witnessed things tied to Biggie's death and still feels like he's being watched for what he knows. In past interviews, Gene said, "The truth got bodies attached to it." And that line alone explains why his words always hit different. So when he starts sending out warnings, the whole hip-hop world stops and pays attention. Fans instantly went full detective mode, digging through old interviews, rewatching every clip, and connecting dots between Gene's warnings and May's messy history with Diddy. Remember, May's story with Bad Boy runs deep. We're talking shady contracts, lost royalties, years of silence, and then that sudden spiritual comeback.
So he was trying to divert that whole conversation and make it seem like, so Gene, why you didn't shoot? Listen to me. It wasn't because Big wasn't my principal. And he knew the fact that we had blew the light and we was halfway down the block, crossed the light, and then when the first shot went off, our driver took straight off. I'm screaming at our driver because he was told that somebody was pointing a gun at Big and them. He should have just threw the car in reverse. He knew the whole story, my man, because me and him had a conversation on the phone. He the one told me, well, I was in the room with Brandy and Brandy was trying to get me out the room to come to the party. So I felt that was kind of weird. So she said Brandy was calling me trying to get me out the room to come to the party. Well, you was in the room with Brandy. How's she calling you to try to get you out the room to come to the party? You know what I'm saying? This was going through my mind. But Mace knew the whole situation.
He's been calling Diddy out for years, accusing him of rubbing artists blind. But now, with Gene stepping in, it's like those old wounds just got ripped open again. Except this time, it don't feel like business beef. It feels dangerous. Even Cameron, usually the joker of every room, started looking uneasy when fans kept tagging him under Gene's videos. Then May's own word from back in the day resurfaced, the night Biggie was killed. May said, "There's no way I could have been sideways in the car, 'cause Puff had his seat back. I was cussing him out like, 'Yo, what the hell you doing?' Then, Bo, we hear the shot." He described chaos, confusion, and the feeling that somebody knew more than they were saying. Ask security. Ask the lap officer that was right there. May said, "Why didn't they shoot?" Suddenly, people started questioning if Mays knew more than he ever let on. You could see the tension building. The laughs on the show got shorter. The smiles started fading. Then Cam finally broke the silence. He said, "We're not scared, but we're not dumb either. We from Harlem. We know what time it is." That one line changed everything. It made people realize this wasn't just YouTube gossip anymore. This was history clashing with the present. The men who lived hip-hop's darkest moments versus the ones joking about them for content. And Gene? He wasn't backing down an inch. He doubled down again. Me and Mays had this conversation. Him and Tone was like this. He knew we chased after that dude, but couldn't catch him. He trying to divert attention from himself. 'Cause why you ain't tell Big they was trying to get at you, bro? Then Gene got real. If it comes to gunplay, I ain't hesitating. I never protected anyone I wasn't ready to die for. He finished with one last shot that shook the internet. These new media dudes don't know what kind of doors they opening. They laughing, but them jokes come with curses. That quote spread like wildfire. Blogs, podcasts, reaction channels. Everybody had something to say. Some called Gene paranoid. Others said he was the only one speaking truth. One influencer summed it up perfectly. Gene Deal might sound crazy, but history proves he ain't lying. That tweet went viral for a reason, because deep down, fans know hip-hop has a dark past. From unsolved murders to quiet cover-ups, too many people who spoke a little too loud either disappeared or suddenly stopped talking. So when Gene says to move careful, it doesn't sound like advice anymore. It sounds like survival. His warning didn't come out of nowhere. It came from experience. But the way he said it this time, it felt personal, almost haunting. In another clip, Gene looked straight into the camera and said, "Mays, you know I'm not lying. You was there. You saw what happened when certain people crossed that man." And the second he said that man, the entire chat froze, because everyone knew exactly who he meant. Fans immediately assumed he was talking about Diddy. Gene's voice even cracked mid-sentence, like he was reliving something he's tried to forget. That moment flipped everything. This wasn't beef anymore. This was survival talk. Comments flooded in saying Gene wasn't threatening anybody. He was reminding them that history always repeats itself if you don't move right. It hit harder for Mays, since he's been one of the loudest voices calling Diddy out for years. Remember that fiery interview where Mays said he wanted to free the souls of artists trapped in bad contracts? Yeah, that's exactly what Gene was responding to. His comeback was chilling. The people who talk about freeing souls usually end up losing theirs. That line alone shook the entire internet. It didn't sound like gossip. It sounded like pain. Like it came from someone who's seen people pay with their lives for saying too much in the wrong room. Meanwhile, Kem kept trying to lighten the mood, cracking jokes on their next episode. "I love Gene, but I don't like when old heads make things sound spooky," he said. "We comedians with mics, not gangsters with guns." The audience laughed, but it felt off. Fans online noticed too. The jokes were shorter, the pauses longer, and even Mays, usually the loudest in the room, seemed quieter, more careful with every word. Social media exploded with debates. Some said Gene was being a real OG, warning them before things got too deep. Others thought he was speaking for someone powerful who didn't want his own hands dirty. "This sounds like a warning straight from Diddy's camp," one tweet read. Another said, "Nah, Gene's protecting them before the game eats them alive." The opinions were split, but the fear? That was universal. Because Gene Deal ain't some clout chaser. He's a man who's lived through real violence, who saw hip-hop's darkest secrets written in blood. This isn't the kind of story that fades in a week. This is about legacy, power, and silence. Gene's words reminded everyone that behind the viral clips and podcast laughs, there's real danger in speaking on certain names, especially when those names built empires off secrets never meant to see daylight. And through it all, Gene hasn't backed down once. On his podcast, he made his stance clear. They can laugh if they want, but I sleep good knowing I warned them. The same people they joke about still got pull, and I don't want to see no young brothers become martyrs for clout. That line hit deep. It made people realize maybe Gene wasn't trying to scare anyone. Maybe he was trying to save them. Either way, his message was loud and clear. This ain't a game, and those Harlem boys better tread carefully. Because when the past starts knocking, it doesn't knock twice. After Gene's last message, the internet went full detective mode again. Old footage, old interviews, even old rumors from the bad boy era started resurfacing. Suddenly, fans were digging into stories about people who used to be close to Diddy and then vanished from the spotlight overnight. It was like everyone was connecting dots that maybe should have stayed unconnected. One old clip of Gene saying, "The things I've seen, I wish I could unsee," started trending again, and people began asking, what exactly did he see? Is this his way of warning the next generation before it happens again? Even industry insiders started speaking out. One producer went live saying, "Gene ain't crazy. He's just seen too much." Meanwhile, the tension between Mays, Cam, and Gene kept simmering. Mays went silent, stopped mentioning Diddy altogether, and that silence said more than any words could. Cam tried to play it cool, still cracking jokes, but fans noticed he was choosing his words way more carefully. They knew he didn't want to poke that bear again. Podcasters and bloggers ran wild with theories. Some said Gene was speaking out to protect himself, like a man who knows too much and wants people to understand why he's talking. Others believed he's sitting on information that could blow the roof off hip-hop history. Every post, every word, every live stream, fans dissected it like evidence in a crime scene. And it wasn't just hip-hop blogs anymore. Mainstream media started paying attention, realizing this story wasn't just about beef, it was about power, silence, and survival. And through it all stood Gene Deal, calm, confident, and saying, "I told y'all, I don't speak for clout. I speak for truth." That one line echoed across social media because deep down, everyone could feel it. Something bigger was brewing. Maybe Gene's words weren't meant to scare. Maybe they were meant to protect. He has seen too many people fall for saying the wrong thing in front of the wrong crowd. And now, it's like he sees Mays and Cam walking that same dangerous path. Fans online are still split. Half called Gene a truth teller keeping it real in a fake industry, while the other half accused him of fear-mongering to stay relevant. But either way, his words hit hard. The It Is What It Is show hasn't been the same since. The laughs feel tighter, the pauses longer, and the air between jokes feels heavier. Everyone's waiting to see what happens next. Will Maze and Cam clap back, or will they finally fall back and let the smoke clear? Because at this point, it's not about words anymore. It's about power. Gene's message came through loud and clear. There are still rules in hip-hop outsiders don't understand. You can joke, you can talk, but there's a line you don't cross. Once you do, you start waking up old ghosts. Ghosts from an era that never really died. And it looks like Maze and Cam just poke one of the oldest, most powerful ones still haunting the game. This whole situation proves one thing. Time doesn't erase the past. It just buries it until someone says a wrong name. The shadows of the bad boy era still stretch long, and the more people try to shine light on them, the louder the warnings get. Whether Gene Deal was sending a threat, a warning, or a full-blown prophecy, only time will tell. But one thing for sure, when a man like Gene Deal says, "Move careful," you better believe he means it. Because in this industry, one wrong word can echo forever. So tell me, was Gene protecting them or putting them on notice? Drop your thoughts below. Hit that like button, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe. And before you go, check out the next video on your screen for more jaw-dropping celebrity drama and secrets the industry doesn't want you to hear.